You won't believe what happens next. Machines can never be as smooth as humans, and Aurora will eventually find all the truth here. Subtitles. She expected the mystery to deepen, yet she remained oblivious. Over time, Jim made Aurora's life fun. Aurora quickly adapted to life in the spaceship, often dancing atop the pool like showing off skills. They frequently hung out at Robot Arthur's bar, and Jim no longer feels lonely. Unfortunate events now seem hilarious memories. Unbeknownst to her, Aurora gradually developed a crush on the guy who kind of ruined her life, and happily accepted his date invitations. Not until they walked hand in hand in spacesuits did Aurora let go of the past and cease complaining about life's injustice. Despite enjoying their happy moments together, they could never hide the secrets. Just as she decided to spend her life with Jim, the truth subtly surfaced. Subtitles. She accidentally came to know a shocking truth. Jim's offhand remark led to a misunderstanding by the robot Arthur. While Jim was busy in the bathroom getting the engagement ring, Arthur revealed the astonishing secret from a year ago. Jim was eagerly looking forward to meeting you. Wait a minute, did he actually spend several months deciding to marry you? Did Jim and I get married? Are we officially married? After being exposed, Jim had no choice but to confess, but this plunged Aurora into a deeper despair, even more crushed than when she first woke up. Little did she know her tragic life had unexpectedly given hope to the other passengers still in slumber. Fuming, Aurora stormed into Jim's room and unleashed a flurry of kicks on the man who wrecked her life. No doubt, Aurora's fury wasn't over. Grabbing an iron rod from under the bed, she was ready to bring down the... However, seeing Jim open his hands pleading for forgiveness, her heart softened, and she ultimately couldn't go through with it. On one hand, it was his innocence. On the other, the fear of facing a lonely eternity. In a bid to win Aurora's forgiveness, Jim used the spaceship's PA system to apologize and confess his love. Aurora, I don't want to leave you. I don't care about what you want. You don't care about what I want. Then why did you wreck my life? Once loving, the two became strangers, yet they didn't realize Jim's pod malfunction was due to the damage to the ship. Right now, things were getting worse. The elevator Jim was in suddenly went haywire, almost trapping him in a wild roller coaster. Even the restaurant Aurora was in had issues, turning gourmet meals into a fountain of bean smells. Rushing there, Jim and Aurora found the captain had awoken due to malfunction. Is anyone awake? Just me and him. We've been apart for 88 years. Realizing the severity, the captain hurriedly led them to the control room, only to find that all the key data had vanished. At this point, they had to split up to check for faults. However, when they checked the sleep chamber, the captain immediately uncovered the secret. Jim was indeed awoken due to a malfunction, but Aurora's capsule had been deliberately sabotaged, clearly by Jim. Though Jim's selfish act was shameful, now's not for blame. Find the fault urgently. Subtitles. Aurora was so furious because she felt that Jim had robbed her of her own life. This is nothing but outright murder. Captain, you must deliver justice for my case. But the captain suddenly coughed violently. Aurora thought it was just him adjusting post-sleep, unaware the situation was far worse. The whole ship began malfunctioning, with the pool floating in zero gravity. Aurora, who was swimming, found herself trapped. She took off her clothes and jumped into the spaceship's infinite pool for a swim, only to become powerless. In the blink of an eye, the weightless pool turned into a terrifying cage, and the liquid surged towards her. She tried to surface but was swamped by the waves. Struggling for breath at the critical moment, she could only extend her hand to call for help, before completely passing out. Wrapped in water, she looked like a stunning piece of amber. Just then, the spaceship suddenly regained power. The entire bubble came crashing back into the pool, the impact bringing Aurora back to her senses as she swam back to safety, yet she knew the crisis wasn't over. Quickly, she woke the captain, and sure enough, systems were overloading, primarily due to a critical component malfunction. If they didn't fix it soon, the numerous standby systems would endanger all passengers' lives. However, the captain's own body also reached its limits, and he collapsed the moment he entered the engineering section. After examination, they discovered he had as many as 612 afflictions. His body had completely entered countdown mode. The system merely prescribed a few painkillers just to ease his last moments. Compared to Aurora and Jim's lonely end, perhaps the captain's fate was the greatest tragedy of them all. Seeing this, the two couldn't bear to disturb the captain any longer. After all, no one had the courage to face death directly. During the captain's brief absence, the spaceship experienced numerous malfunctions. Red lights flicker in the hull, creating danger. The captain dons a smart uniform, ready for fate. Before heading off, the captain spoke his mind, even though Jim selfishly awakened Aurora. Surrounding people will instinctively drag others down with them, creating a double disaster. In his final moments, he handed Jim the high-security wristband, entrusting them with the fate of the spaceship. However, the ship was at its limit. Aurora set aside hatred and teamed up with Jim to save it.